say silence is peaceful, but there's a kind of silence that listens back. January always felt wrong to me. Not cold, not dark, wrong. The kind of wrong that sits in your chest and doesn't move. I noticed it the first week I moved into the town. A quiet place, snow-covered roads, lamps that flickered like tired eyes. People here smiled, but only during the day. At night, their houses went dark early, too early. I rented a small upstairs apartment above an old bookstore. The landlord, an old man with cracked hands, slid the keys
to me without eye contact. "You'll hear it," he muttered. "Hear what?" I asked. He paused, then smiled. "Nothing." That should have been my warning. The first night was normal. Wind brushing the windows, pipes knocking, distant dogs barking. The second night, something changed. At exactly 12:01 a.m., everything stopped. No wind, no pipes, no dogs. Not even my own building made a sound. I sat up in bed, holding my breath without meaning to. The silence was so heavy, it felt physical, like the air had thickened. I checked my phone. No signal, no bars. Time still moved, but the worlds didn't. Then I heard my neighbor cough, and it echoed. Not like a normal echo, like it was being copied, repeated, tested. I didn't sleep after that. The next morning, I asked a woman at the cafe if she'd noticed the silence at night. Her spoon froze halfway to her mouth. "You don't go out after midnight in January," she said quietly. I didn't say anything about going out. She looked at me then, really looked. "Then you heard it." That night, I stayed awake on purpose. Lights on, coffee ready, heart racing. 12 a.m. 12:01. The silence returned. But this time, I heard something new. Footsteps, slow, careful, outside my door. They stopped right in front of it. I stared at the handle, waiting for it to turn. It didn't. Instead, a voice whispered my name, not loud, not threatening, familiar. It sounded like my mother. My mom had been dead for 3 years. "Open the door," the voice said softly. "It's cold." I backed away until my spine hit the wall. "I know you're awake," it whispered. "You always were a light sleeper." The voice smiled. I could hear it smiling. Then the silence swallowed it whole. The next day, I confronted the landlord. He sighed like he'd been waiting for this. "It starts after midnight," he said, "and it only comes in January." "What is it?" I asked. He shook his head. "It's not a what, it's a when." He explained that years ago, during a winter blackout, something happened in the town. People went missing. Not taken, not killed, just erased. No screams, no struggle, only silence. And ever since, January remembers. That night, I didn't stay inside. I needed proof. I needed answers. At 12:01, I stepped into the street. The town looked frozen. Snow hung in the air, unmoving. Streetlights buzzed without sound. Then I saw them. People, standing in doorways, at windows, in the middle of the road, not moving, not breathing. Their eyes were open, watching. I walked past a man I'd seen every morning at the cafe. His mouth was open like he was mid-sentence. Something brushed my ear, a whisper. "Don't blink." I blinked, and suddenly they were closer. I ran. The silence chased me, not with noise, but with pressure, like hands pushing me forward. I reached my apartment and slammed the door behind me. The clock read 12:14. 14 minutes too long. That's what I noticed the mirror. My reflection was still smiling. I wasn't. It raised its hand and pressed it against the glass from the other side. "Your turn," it mouthed. The silence cracked. I screamed. I woke up in my bed. Morning light, normal sounds, wind, pipes, cars. For a moment, I thought it was a dream. Then I saw the calendar. February 1st. I packed and left that town the same day. No goodbye, no refund, just gone. But here's the twist. Every January since then, at 12:01 a.m., my house goes silent, no matter where I moved. And last night, I heard my own voice whisper from the hallway, "Open the door. If you hear the silence tonight, don't answer it. It already knows you're there." If this story made you uneasy, good. That means you were listening. Tell me in the comments, what would you do if silence started calling your name? And remember, subscribe before your screen goes dark. Subscribe before your screen goes dark. The Digital Nightmare.